Parsis are few in number, but in my book, I think, at least for the Hindus, they need to read more about Parsis as well as their book, the Zendavesta, their religious book. Because Parsis are that one link between us and people in the general Asia Minor region. So there is still some debate as to who traveled from where, but from the Parsi perspective itself, they obviously were based in Iran. And based on the words you read in their book, it's pretty clear that this whole religion of Parsis, which is the Zoroastrianism, it was somewhat perhaps antagonistic to what could be called either the Hindu religion or the proto-Hindu religion, depending on, whatever is the truth. Because when you think about it, they considered the Devas as the devils, and their god is Ahura Mazda. The H sound changes to S, as far as Hindus are concerned. So it in effect makes him an Asura. So very much possible that, that the Zoroastrianism as a religion came into being as some form of monotheism practiced against whatever was the Hindu religion of the time. Now, if it was antagonistic, why did the Parsis ultimately migrate to India where they knew the Hindus were living? Well, the religion itself is like thousands of years old. But in the immediate, what happened was the Islamic invasion of Iran. So they had no choice, essentially. So they took a ship, they sailed into India, and they reached this place in Gujarat. And today, this place is actually known by the name of Sanjana. And there's a very interesting story of this. The first time when the Parsis reached the shores of India, they met a king called Jadi Raja, who was very suspicious of them because they wore different kind of clothes, practiced a different religion. So first, the king actually sent his emissaries to learn about them. And after he was satisfied, did he actually allow them to actually settle there? And I could not find it, but it is mentioned that the Parsis also came with their own priests. They already kind of knew about India a little bit, and strangely, they knew Sanskrit as well. So the Parsi priests actually spoke in 15 or 16 Sanskrit shlokas to convince the king that they came in good faith, they sought refuge from Islamic invasions, and that's when the king was satisfied and he allowed them to stay there. And since then, the rest is history, as they say. The Parsis are one of the best and the most integrated minorities in India, very thriving, very enterprising, very intelligent, obviously. And they, even though they're tiny in number, they have changed the world in a manner of speaking. You have Freddie Mercury, who's a Parsi as well. All the industrial houses of India today, for example, Tata owns Jaguar, Range Rover. So they made a big dent at the world stage, even though they are tiny in number, which was probably not the case all throughout history. Because if you go back far enough, it was the most important religion of the Asia Minor region at one point of time. Because even King Darius, or I think he's known as Dariush, believed in Ahura Mazda. There are inscriptions of him, by him, where he is paying obeisance to Ahura Mazda. So, the Zoroastrianism religion used to be really big at one point of time, at least in the ancient times. Things have obviously changed.